It's funny, when I was here last Sunday, I said, no saws on Sunday, because I wanted to finish building the medieval surface. But I was like, no saws on Sunday. No saw Sunday. But then I came here with 3PO today, and I was like, you know what we should do? We should finish building the surface for the medieval diorama. It just makes sense to get that done. I can get that stuff up off the ground. I can build the medieval blacksmith alt builds. I can start working on the landscaping up front here. I can just start working on it, because it doesn't make sense to leave it in the state that it's in, even though I have so much stuff to do, like placing 3PO and all these Star Wars sets and building the zoo and pretty much the entire Lego city. I should probably get that done, just because like it's close to being done, so I may as well just like cut the wood and get that done today. I just threw all this Star Wars stuff in a big bin and hauled it over here. So I need to figure out where we're gonna put C-3PO. I don't think these two droids right here would be friends in real life. I don't think they'd get along. I don't think Grievous would enjoy 3PO's company. But for now, there you go. He's checking them out. Actually, I think this makes more sense. We've got 3PO beside Chewbacca. They're sort of buddies, right? Look at the height difference. I think that's like the proper scale. You know, I need to get the R2-D2 that matches up with the C-3PO. That would be so cool. I have the larger ones, like I have the two UCS versions, that one being the newer one, and this one being the older one, but I need to get like the smaller version that matches up with this 3PO. In fact, I want to get all the 25th anniversary sets. I need them all. I don't think I have very many of them. I've got this one down here, but I'm talking about the ones that come with the minifigure. Like I can't recall. Oh yeah, I have this one. The Boarding of the Tantive. Is that the only one that I have? I think so, yeah. I need to get on getting more of those. So is this the exclusive, quote-unquote exclusive UCS 3PO? I think it's the same. Yeah, it is. From the Landspeeder. At least it's not like a small microfighter. At least they're not doling these minifigures out in like a, whatever, $13 set or whatever it is. All right, there we go. We got 3PO. There's a couple other sets as well. I put the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc pit right here beside the UCS Landspeeder, and then I put the older one back beside the UCS Sandcrawler. Some of my smaller diorama and dual sets are over there on that shelf, but I decided to put the dual on Peridia right here beside the UCS A-Wing just because there was an open spot and it's sort of right out in the open. I like that at eye level. You know, there's actually still quite a bit of room here in the Star Wars area. Like we've got quite a few holes to fill, which is good. Like there's a big shelf right here. There's a hole right there. This shelf down here is pretty much empty. A lot of these shelves are like half empty as well, or there's big open spots for more shelves. Also right there with a random Harry Potter set. I still need to fix up my UCS AT-AT Walker. This shelf is, or this unit could have another shelf. Got a big open spot right there where I could get another shelf as well. This whole cabinet is empty. All of these cabinets right here, all empty. So yeah, there's still a ton of space for expansion here, which is good. It's better to have too much space than too little, I would say. This is just like become a random hoard under here. There's like airplanes and colorful bricks and Vader who's all smashed up and just like random stuff. Yeah, probably not the best, but I've just been like focused on this city. And today I want to focus on this medieval diorama. I want to get this surface just topped so I can get all this stuff up off the ground. It's one of the reasons I wanted to start the project, was just so I could get this stuff out of the city. And now I just wanted to continue it to get it up off the ground. I know, I should probably hang my art. I know. I honestly want Jose here to hang the art with me. She's got bad hands right now, but maybe the next time that her and I are both here, we can just hang the art together. I know, I'm procrastinating on that in a big way, but Stinks Bricks actually dropped off his laser level, so I can use this laser level right here to make sure all the art is level. I would love to get this big Bricksie sign up off the ground as well. The intention was to actually put it right there on the ledge just above the vent because we actually made a ledge for it. You want to see procrastination at its finest? I'm here in my washroom and my towel is just on the sink. Like, that is not good. My toilet paper is just chilling on the back of the toilet. Like, what is wrong with me? Why is that procrastination? I have yet to hang this. It's got like a towel rack for like drying dishes. It's got a toilet paper rack. It's got the other towel rack for drying your hands that I can put by the sink. Then I also bought this little shelf here so that I can put, I'll put that right here above the sink, and then I can put my dish soap and stuff on there. And I literally have been procrastinating on that since we created the studio, man. Well, since we finished construction. Then I also bought this mirror from IKEA. Hello there. And I need to hang all that stuff as well. There's one more bathroom upgrade right here. Oh my gosh, I've been meaning to go to Home Depot and just buy new switches. So easy to just flip the breaker, take these screws out, put the new switches in, like the nice ones, and then get a new plate so it looks like this. Every time I flip that switch, I'm like, that is so gross. It's so easy to change, and I just have not been doing that. I don't know why. It is what it is, I guess. It's not the end of the world. So actually, the first thing I'm doing is moving these cabinets over, and I'm also leveling them all off because they have these little foot adjusters on the bottom, and the floor here isn't perfectly level. So I got to make sure that they're all level, make sure they're square, so that when I actually put the melamine top that's going to bridge these two cabinets on, it's of course level. That's key. That's essential. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but the closer it is to perfectly level, the better. Now, in the past, like for the large Lego city over there, just over there, that one that we're always working on, I made the tabletops exactly like the exact base plate dimension. I even factored in the little gap and the little 0.1 of an inch or whatever it is. This one, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make the surface exactly not exactly 7 base plates, but exactly 70 inches wide. And then I'm going to go 190 inches long. I don't care if the tabletop itself isn't perfect, because whatever, if there's a Mills plate overhanging like 1/8 of an inch, I'm really not worried about it. So I'm not going to try and make this surface perfect, but I will probably spend an hour fiddling with these little foot adjusters before I even start putting the wood on top. The issue is I've got a big piece of melamines. For some reason, they come in a weird size. They're like 49 inches, which is 1 more inch than 4 feet, by 97 inches, which is 1 more inch than 8 feet. But yeah, I got this big sheet, and I want to use that big sheet. The problem is it's bloody heavy, and me trying to get this thing on here on my own is sort of a nuisance. My buddy Kevin was here yesterday, and I really should have thought of that when he was here, and we should have just accomplished this project yesterday, but we were just sort of having a little chit chat while I was working on the zoo yesterday. So I should have thought to myself, oh, maybe what we could do is, while there's an able body here, is work on this or hang the art. But it is what it is. It's all good. We'll get her done today, no problem. You know what I should do is use these connectors. You know how I connected my cabinets so they're all one solid unit? I should screw all of those together. I don't have drill bits here though. I brought my drill bits home. But I feel like if I get it relatively perfect here, there's not going to be a tremendous, there'll be a lot of weight on it, but not a huge amount of weight. So once I get it all put together, then I can use the drill through and put those connectors in and actually connect all the cabinets, and that will prevent the gap, and it'll just make them level and just perfect. That's what I'm going to do. Another day when I come back with my drill bits, I will finish this project, even though today will sort of be the finished product anyway. You want to hear a crazy coincidence? Oh man, I love when stuff like this works out. So I managed to get this big sheet right here placed on there. Once again, that's a full sheet, which is 97 inches by 49 inches. I'm sorry, everybody, I'm working in inches today. Then I had one other sheet in that wood pile over there that was 49 inches. All the other ones were 48. I don't know, that makes it sort of weird if I use a 49 and a 48. So I grabbed this one, which is confirmed 49, and I measured it, and it's 40 wide this way. So 40, 97, that's 137. Minus 190, that's 53. So I need to fill in a gap, which is 53 inches, which is right here. So I was like, oh man, there's no pieces that match the width of this over here. Luckily for me, I've got another scrap pile over here. This one, once again, 48, not gonna work. But these ones over here are 49. So it's like, okay, I need to get 53 inches out of these guys right over here. So I measured it, and I was like, well, what the heck? 26 and just under a half. It's like 2 of those is gonna be a little bit short, but maybe just perfect. Maybe I just use 2 of those and call it a day. No cutting required. Well, at least no cutting like the big sheets. All I have to do after I get that placed on there and fill the center is cut some sheets down right here, and this is going to be 70 wide minus 49, so what is that, 21? So I guess 10.5-inch pieces right here. So just cut 10.5-inch strips off some of my long, narrow pieces over there, and then Bob's your uncle. It's all done. I'm just thinking that might work out, unless it really bothers me that it's going to be that 1/2 inch short. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. But check this out. How many inches is that? 190 or 482.5 centimeters. Woohoo! That's perfect. So I've decided that it's going to be easier to use some of the stuff that I have pre-cut that's all the same width on this side, even if it's not the 10.5 inches, which splits the 21 inches that remain. So I used this stuff here, which is 13 3/4 inches. I must have had some cutoffs from the Lego City, so I had a bunch of those. And I put 3 of them on here. And all I've got to do is just trim this one a little bit. So that's going to be super easy to do. Just rip that down, and then that's going to be done. But we have this awkward gap on this side. So because that side there is 13 3/4 inches, that leaves this side at 7.25 inches or 7.25 inches. So all I'm going to do now is set up my table saw at 7.25. I don't have a track saw on me right now, so not going to use a track saw. But I'm going to rip this piece through, because I'll be able to create 3 strips. And the 3 strips will go end to end. I'll just have to make one trim, like this piece here, and I'll be able to convert this piece into that entire side. I don't really need to worry about centering the big pieces, even though there's only a little bit on the cabinet now, because I'm going to put legs in the center anyway. So it's going to be fully supported on that side, and then there's going to be legs there. So it's not really risque at any or for any reason, and I can go under here and crawl if I need to put some of the metal fasteners that I have in between to actually connect the pieces as well. So I could just go under there and connect some metal fasteners, install the legs. Well, there we go. It's as perfect as I want it to be. Could it be better? Absolutely. If I ordered all new lumber, then it would be better, because I could have the sheets span from side to side. I wouldn't have these odd cuts on either side, but you know what? This is going to get covered with Mills plates, so it doesn't really bother me. And once I screw these cabinets together, like I was mentioning earlier, it'll pull them together so there won't be these gaps between the cabinets, and then I can also get in there and fiddle with the little leg adjusters again, just to get it even more level. Of course, there is these little gaps here that you can see between the pieces of melamine or tabletop, but that's gonna get covered with Mills plates, so it doesn't really matter. Those gaps are gonna be there because I built this using a scrap pile. Not everything is perfectly cut. The saw blade thickness also, just like the shred that you get from the saw or the tear out, but I'm not gonna like sit there and try and make this perfect because it's gonna get covered with Lego, so it doesn't really matter. It's fully supported, that's what matters most, and level. So we've got the 2x6 legs in there, there's 6 of them, and they just run through the center so it fully supports this wood, making it nice and strong. And I'm able to level those out using these. They're the billiard table levelers. They're like thin pieces of rubber or melamine. I mean, not melamine, like hockey puck cheapers. Been using melamine too much lately. My mind's on the melamine. Yeah, so there you go. That looks pretty sweet. Now I can start transferring the Lego on it. And once I transfer the Lego on it, that being over here, which is on a piece of melamine, I can restack my wood pile. I've actually already started doing it, putting the big stuff at the back of the stack and all the smaller stuff forward. But I had to pause my restack of the wood pile because I knew there was another big sheet over there that I wanted to add to the pile. So now I'm at the phase where we could actually start adding Lego to the diorama table. Oh, I think it looks killer. I'm really excited about that. Oh yeah, so in addition to screwing it all together, there's one other thing that I need to do as well, and that's tidy up this edge here. I'm gonna get some thick hockey stick tape, hockey stick tape, and it's white, and I'm gonna have it start up here and wrap around and go underneath, and then just put that like that, and it's gonna make that edge white. It's gonna be beauty. It should stick to the melamine on the top and the bottom and a little bit on the face as well, so that should work. I mean, it sticks to hockey sticks, so you would think that it would stick to other types of wood as well. I would hope. So I'm gonna go get some hockey stick tape and do the whole perimeter, but I don't wanna do that for the city and for this until I know everything is finalized. So honestly, that'll be like one of the things that happens later on, because if, for example, I'm working way down here and I finally complete my last Mills plate or my last section of Mills plates, and then I discover that this piece of melamine has to move over a 1/4 inch and I've got this hockey tape going all the way around, well, that's gonna be a bit of a bugger. I guess I wouldn't tape the seams, I guess. No, I'd probably just do each piece individually. So there's another thing that you can add to Brixie's procrastination list. The hockey stick tape. I've got to go get some of that. All right, here we go. We're getting the Lego off the ground. Woohoo! It's a woohoo moment for sure. I love just getting stuff up off the ground and cleaning stuff up. You know, I am putting all this stuff on these tables, but I know that all of these Mills plates and the medieval diorama is gonna have to be ripped apart and rebuilt. I mean, not a whole lot of this is going to remain the same, because the medieval diorama that we had before was only one of those 48 by 48 gray base plates wide. Well, like the long part of it was that used to actually be on the raised platform, but then we integrated into the medieval diorama. It was only that wide. This is much wider, and then the medieval diorama, like the larger section, was only 2 of those like Besta cabinets wide, and this is a lot larger, so all of this is gonna have to be reworked, and I've got some ideas for this area as well, so we may as well share those with you. But look at that. All that Lego's up off the ground. Oh, that felt so good to get done, everybody. Oh my gosh, I've been staring at this diorama surface for quite some time, and it's like, okay, I need to get this topped so we can get this Lego up off the ground. Like, that is imperative. Now there is the sides here too that I want to fill in with some cabinets, but as you saw, the Star Wars room is like fairly empty. So we've got lots of cabinet space right now. We've got lots of diorama space, and we've got lots of space in the city that needs to be filled, which is a great thing. It's a fantastic thing. Now I've got my work cut out for me for years to come. What am I going to do with this diorama surface here? My idea was originally to have water go around the entire perimeter of it. I think that would be so cool if there was like 16 studs of water at the minimum going around the entire table. So I'd have to buy some blue base plates and a nice sharp razor blade. And no, I wouldn't have to cut the base plates. I'm just joking. I would just use the 16 studs and then mill splate up. But it's a thought. Hey, yeah, so my idea would be to put the water around the entire perimeter. I think that would be so cool, and it would just frame this diorama with some really nice color of like blues and azures, and all be nicely tiled off. That would just be amazing. And then there would be some areas where there would be more water, maybe like a beachfront or a rocky sort of shoreline. For example, maybe there's like a shoreline here and there's like a boats coming in like to the harbor, maybe the Viking boat and stuff like that. And then from there, it's just like terrain with, you know, maybe a castle here, like this big castle right here, and then some more terrain, and a big castle right here, and some more terrain, and another castle here, and then these other like medieval sets sort of scattered throughout, along with a bunch of custom builds. For example, I've got my my tower over there. That large castle is also custom. The tavern in front of it, and then this one was based off a set, but it's been pretty much completely customized as well. And then I can start to do some more custom stuff on top of all of the custom landscaping as well. And there'll be some elevation change for sure. You know, we'll probably get up to, I don't know, maybe like this high in some areas, just like elevation change. And you can have like giant battles and stuff and armies marching around. And it's just going to be like a beautiful project that I can just really experiment with a lot of different landscaping and custom medieval builds, which is really neat. So in regards to stuff that's ready to go for this area, I've got the Dungeons and Dragons set, which would be cool to integrate in here. I've also got 2 medieval blacksmiths. I think I ordered that Bricklink Designer Program castle, and that should be here relatively soon as well. Then I have the Viking village, which I could integrate into there as well, and the Viking ship. So there's a lot of stuff. By the time I put all that in here, it's like, hey, I don't want like a whole lot more structure unless it's like custom structures. Like, I'd rather lean toward that. I do have one of these sets sealed too. I bought it when it was like 30% off. And this would just be a tremendous parts pack for creating anything medieval, or I could even use it to customize this. Yeah, so a lot of work there. Hey, this woodworking here today, it really got me thinking about the woodworking that I need to do for the Lego city. I need to build probably like a 4 base plate platform that runs through the center for the mountain. So this platform is probably going to be like 4 base plates by, I don't know, is probably just like, you know, 9 base plate segments, because I'll just take the sheets that are 97 and either chop them down to 95, so it's 9.5 base plates, or 9 base plates, and put them on stilts and run them all through the center. And then I can start building my mountain, because I really don't feel like building a Lego structure for the mountain. You know, if the mountain's going to be this tall, I'm not going to build a Lego structure that is that tall. I'd rather have some wood structure underneath, easier to put trains running through, and easier to build, and a lot more affordable than building it out of Lego as well. So yeah, as I was running the saw, I was like, oh man, I should probably get on building the platform for the mountain, which is going to go behind the zoo and host Ninjago, at least the first tier. I already have the legs cut. And I have some of the wood, obviously, that you saw there, but I have the legs cut that I could use for the first tier that's going to match the platform, the raised platform covering height. So yeah, I could get on that ASAP as well. But like, I don't think I'm going to start on this project, you know, in the near future, because I've got other projects that I've got to take care of, like the city's higher priority over this. That, you know, allocating my budget and my parts to the city is probably higher priority than this, because I need a whack of base plates and all that. But that doesn't mean I can't start building some of those sets in all the free time that I have to, to start populating this area a little bit more as well. Yeah, lots of fun stuff to do, which is excellent. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the near future, because we got lots of cool stuff to do. Farewell, and have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye.